Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining and welcome to Working with an Agent, Home Buying 101. I'm Danielle Sleesher, and here's a little bit about me. I've been licensed for almost 6 years now, and I'm a realtor with Coldwell Banker in Brookline, and I serve the greater Boston area. So let's begin. Who out there watches the show House Hunters on HGTV? Bet a lot of you are shaking your heads yes, maybe you don't want to admit it, but even I will get caught up in a marathon on a Sunday afternoon after working with my own clients. So this is me and my clients a few years ago. This couple bought a home in Brookline, and it was a really fantastic experience for all of us. And the reason why I put this up here to begin with is I am here today to tell you that real life is not really like a reality TV show. Chances are you're not going to see just 3 properties, pick one, and voila, you become a homeowner. Now, it can happen, but I am here today to get you prepared for the house hunting experience. So you may ask, all real estate agents are the same, right? Well, no. There are seller's agents, and they represent the seller. Their job is to work for the seller to get them the best possible price for their home, and their fiduciary responsibility is to the seller and the seller only. Now, there are buyer's agents, and buyer's agents work for the buyer only. It is their job to put the buyer first, to find a home they love, and negotiate for the buyer and get them the best possible price. Now, designated agents are just that. They are working under what is called designated agency, and they are designated by their broker to work for either the sellers or the buyers. So I'm an independent contractor. I work for Coldwell Banker under our parent company, NRT. So for example, NRT would designate me to be your buyer's agent or seller's agent. A dual agent works for both the seller and the buyer with consent to do so. I do not practice dual agency. None of my Coldwell Banker colleagues do. So even if I had a listing as a seller's agent that would be perfect for you as a buyer, I would likely get a colleague to step in to represent you, or you would go unrepresented in that case. I never have both sides of the deal, but that's what dual agents are. And finally, a facilitator, it's rare. They assist the buyer and or the seller in reaching an agreement, but they don't represent either in the transaction. So the Massachusetts Mandatory Licensee Consumer Relationship Disclosure. Licensee, that's me, and consumer, that's you. The state of Massachusetts wants you to know who's who in a real estate transaction. So this disclosure notifies you of that. All real estate agents must present you with this form when discussing a specific property on the first face-to-face meeting. And it is not a contract. You have the right to be represented by your own agent, but don't assume that a real estate agent works solely for you unless you have a buyer's agreement. So what is your responsibility as a buyer? Number one, take your search seriously. Keep all appointments, show up for meetings and showings on time. Number two, meet with your agent to discuss the home buying process and share your housing wants and needs. We're not mind readers, so the best relationships we have with our buyers as agents include the best communication. Tell us what you want. Number three, secure a pre-approval prior to your search. It's really important to go shopping, especially for a house, when you know how much money you have to play with, what your budget is. Number four, review the buyer's agreement contract. So if you work with a buyer's agent who signs a buyer contract with you, wants you to sign that contract, review it and know what you're getting into. And finally, five, keep your agent informed of your status. And this goes back to the communication part. If you're suddenly going to take a break from house hunting, tell your agent. If you suddenly really want 3 bedrooms as opposed to 2 bedrooms, let them know. So how do you find a real estate agent? You should, and I encourage you to, interview potential agents. Ask them what areas they work in, how long they've been in the business, how they run their business, how many transactions have they closed, for example. Get referrals from agencies such as the ABCDC. Ask friends and family for recommendations. Your friends and family who've already bought homes, this is a fantastic resource. And if you can go to an open house, see how the agent operates. Check them out online. We're all on social media these days, so check them out. See how they run their own business. So here's the fun part, the house hunting part, searching for a property. 93% of all buyers start online. So head to those websites, whichever ones that you find are the most engaging, the easiest to look around. The Zillows, the Trulias of the world. But keep in mind, these may not be the most up-to-date. The MLS is. That's the multiple listing service. So all listings start there. As a seller's agent, that's where we upload the information and upload the listings. And then that information is pushed along to the Zillows of the world. So when working with an agent, ask them, can you put me in your MLS search? So every day, for example, my clients get an email from MLS of the latest listings. So they're seeing the latest listings almost as soon as I am. Scout out your neighborhood, the neighborhood that you think you want to live in. Hang out there. Go for lunch. Go for dinner if you can. Look for for sale signs. Find out if it's a place that you want to live. And ask your friends, do they like the building they're living in? Maybe there's a condo coming up for sale. Or maybe there's a single family house down the street that they know that's going to come up for sale. Through organizations like the ABCDC. And also be sure to check out Affordable Opportunities, CHAPA's Mass Access Registry, or Boston's Metro List. So if you want to talk the talk, let's know these terms. DOM, days on market. How long has the listing been available? Disclosures. So that's what the seller or the seller's agent is letting you know about the home. So for example, something like the dishwasher is broken. That would be a disclosure. CTG is contingent. An offer has been accepted on the property, but it's contingent on something, maybe a mortgage contingency or an inspection contingency. Owner occupied. So that mostly comes into play in condo buildings. So is the unit occupied by the owner of that unit, or have they rented it out to tenants, and tenants are the occupants? Association fees also has to do with condos. That would be the, or a community that has a homeowners association, can cover things like snow removal, landscaping, things like that. And the living area, which is the size of the home, but also differs from the complete size of the home. For example, if there's an unfinished basement, that may not be included in what's called the living area. SF, MF, and condo. Single family, multifamily, and condo, different types of homes. Assessed value, this is what the municipality has decided the home is worth. This is what the taxes are based on. BOM, or the bomb, this is back on market. For some reason, an offer was accepted, but it is now back on the market. And what's important there is, and your agent should be able to ask, maybe find out, why did it come back on the market? Did the buyer get cold feet? Or maybe there was an issue with inspection. So something that might be important for you to know. The year built, simply put, this is when the home was built. But important, especially in an area like Boston, where we have a lot of older homes that are renovated, you'd like to know when the original structure was built. UAG, under agreement. So an offer has been accepted and it is under agreement. EXT, EXP, and ACT, extended. So this means the home has been on the market, and as a listing agent, you sign a contract with the seller. And usually that's a couple months or a year, saying, no, they're going to sell it in that time frame. But if that contract comes to an end, that listing expires. Okay, so that's the expiration part of it. Extended, if you see it's extended, means it hasn't sold during that time of the contract with the seller's agent, and they've extended the listing. So they're going to continue to sell it. And active is the home is actively for sale. So before making an offer, there's a number of things to consider. What is the age and condition of the home? Do you want new construction? Or do you prefer older? Do you want something that needs some repairs or updates? Or do you want move-in ready? What is included in the price? Things like all the appliances. Have other offers been made? And this is important because maybe an offer was made and the seller rejected it, and maybe you can find out why and make your offer stronger. Or if they have two offers already in hand, maybe you want to put your best foot forward even more so than before knowing there was competition. So what are similar properties selling for? This is what we call the comps or comparables. And your agent should be able to look at, let's say it's a condo building or a specific neighborhood, to look at what other homes in the area have recently sold. Important to know the prices there. And how long has the property been on the market? That's important too. If it's a brand new hot listing, it might be entirely different when making an offer for something that's been on the market for 100 days, let's say. Does the home have what you need? So this is important. Just because you see a lot of people are interested in it, they may have multiple offers, is it the right home for you? And that's something that you have to think about to decide. Does it have enough bedrooms that you want? Is it in the right location? Additionally, you want to think about what are the taxes, the insurance costs, the condo fees, etc. Because again, this all goes into budgeting and not getting yourself involved in a home that you cannot afford. And then also that goes along with what is the tax assessed value? Again, what has the city or the town assessed it for, and what will the taxes be? So making an offer. Just so you know, the agent, the listing agent or the seller's agent, must by law present every formal offer to the seller, no matter the price. And we do that in writing. So just know this seller will see your offer. Consult with your agent to strategize your initial offer. That's what we're here for. This is what we do. Day in, day out. Strategize, consult with them, and come up with your best possible offer. If your offer is rejected, you should know that your deposit will be returned. It does not cost you any money to make an offer. And that's usually $1,000. Now, the offer process can go one of three ways. The seller says, yes, we love your offer, we're accepting it. Or, nope, we're not taking it. This is not the offer for us. Or a counter offer where the seller says, listen, instead of offering X, how about Y? And then you can start to negotiate from there. Included in the offer, like we discussed, is the deposit, usually $1,000. Every offer has a time frame for acceptance on it. It expires after a certain time, usually put for 24 hours to give the seller time to take a look at it. All offers include a closing date, the day that you intend on closing and taking ownership of the home, and all contingencies. So contingencies can include an inspection contingency. That can include inspecting for pests, radon, or a mortgage contingency. That this offer is contingent on you getting financing to purchase the property. And for condos, there's a contingency called a condo document review, giving you and your real estate attorney the chance to look at the condominium documents. And condominium documents often include the rules and regulations. So what's important there is, let's say you have a dog and the condo rules and regulations say no pets. So it's something you would want to know and make your offer contingent on that. And finally, include fixtures. So that includes things like appliances, lighting, and it's recommended that you specify exactly what you want. So if you want that chandelier, but you're not sure if the seller is going to leave it behind, put it in writing and make sure. So buying foreclosures, short sales, auctions, REOs, the process is property specific and it can be unpredictable. The key here is enlisting a real estate agent and an attorney who specializes in these things, specializes in short sales and foreclosures. The property may need extensive work and inspections can be limited. Lender addendums can be changed and closings can be delayed. So overall, just the key here is to be flexible on these type of purchases. And as you search for your home, there's a bunch of key things to remember. Number one, be realistic in your search. Know your budget and don't go into that $1 million condo if you cannot afford that $1 million condo. Nothing would pain me more than you falling in love with a place that you can't have. So be realistic with your budget, the time frame, all of those things. Listen to your agent and learn. Again, this is what we do, and we are here to work for you. So listen to them and rely on them. Communicate your wants and needs to your agent. That goes back to communication. Discuss all of your wants and needs with them. Let them know. Again, we're not mind readers, and we won't know what you like, what you don't like. Become informed about the properties in your area. While your agent is the expert in the market, become an expert as well. See as many properties as you can. Check out what's sold in the neighborhood, things like that. Use resources for first-time home buyers. Congratulations, you're here. You're listening to something like this, so good for you. Keep in mind, this can be stressful. This is likely the most important, biggest purchase in our lives. Try not to be emotional about it. And I know that might be hard. And I try to tell my clients, let me take on the stress for you. So try to stay focused on it. Try to have a little bit of fun along the way, because I think it can be fun. Don't afraid, and this is key, don't be afraid to change real estate agents if you're not happy with them. Again, this is a huge moment and a huge purchase. And if the relationship isn't working, don't be afraid to change up the team. And also be proactive in your search. So, just don't lay back and think, oh, I'm going to get these emails from MLS. It's going to be, super easy. Take ownership of this to own your own home. Be proactive. Try to find out what you like, where you want to live, things like that. And ask a lot of questions. So speaking of questions, I am happy to take any emails, phone calls. This is what I do. I absolutely love working with first-time home buyers. It's a really exciting time in each of our lives. So reach out with as many questions as you can. And thank you so much.